Alright guys, welcome to Russia, or another Year's Revenge video. This time we are doing Russia. So this one's one of the most aggressive ones that there are. I'm not going to read the pros and cons because I don't have my tablet beside me. So I'm going to tell you guys my pros and cons about what Russia is good for. This is my favorite faction, which is Soviet. The Soviet Union, or in this case, Soviets, are an aggressive bunch of Russians who are usually pretty good. They're Soviets are pretty fast. They got some great defensive measures, and they're usually really just aggressive in a way. They're not really they're not counter-aggressive, but they're really just up for just aggressive. They're aggressive. They're not like counter-aggressive like most others. France is defensive, but Russia can really take them down. So my enemy thinks they can try and attack me. So I'm facing against Libya, which is another Soviet thing, to tell you guys which one is actually get their plays faster. So far, Russia's game, their plays a little slow because I'm actually going as slow as I can, but I'm trying to at least not bunch up my buildings like most other people do in this game, and StarCraft 2, but start as StarCraft 2. I need a battle lab next, and if I get a battle lab next, I'll be able to do what I think I should do. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go into the Tesla reactor there, and I want to build a battle lab, and I want you to explore around.
Location confirmed.
We are choosing a new map because this is actually going to show you guys how aggressive Soviets are. I'm going to check to see if the mic's on, and the mic is on. And don't worry, I still have a lot of videos to put up, so I still regret my idea, but I'll try my best. I actually do like it so far. It's 2 every day. It's really nice. As I said in the France one, it's a France video, this gives you 2,000 power. Now, these each give you 150. These give you 2,000 power. That's what I said. So so all the France person's got to do is put an engineer there. And if you look at the cost, it costs 1,000. So if your ally doesn't have enough for their like their power plants, you just say, "Hey, just get a nuclear power plant. Just let me build one for you." And they go, "Okay." And then you just build it, and then they go, "Okay, thank you." And you're like, "You're welcome." But most France players are usually independent. They don't want to take anything from anybody else. But that's just them, though. So what Russia gives is Tesla tanks. Now, Tesla tanks do like Prism tanks do, not Prism tanks, Prism towers and Tesla coils actually do, which is basically instant kill infantry units. Now, as you see, the Tesla coil didn't actually instant kill that Tesla trooper, but the Tesla tank did, and that's because you can actually upgrade your Tesla coil in with the Tesla troopers. So if I get a Tesla trooper, and I build him right there, he's going to start charging this. Now, if I have no power, this will still attack because Tesla trooper is giving it electricity, and he won't run out of electricity for some reason. So I don't know why. But my favorite tank is right here. It would cost $17.50 if you didn't have a industrial plant, but if you do, it costs $13.12. So it's relatively cheap. It decreases the cost of all ships and tanks. So it's pretty nice.
I have the information.
I want to be able to guard my flak tracks, so I'm gonna go get some 2 Rhino tanks. Actually 3. Let's get 3. So the game plan for Soviet is to get a bunch of money. Then as soon as you can get a lot of money, because as soon as you get a lot of money, you don't need to worry about anything else too drastic, except for your defenses and your attacking units. But then after that, you don't need to worry about anything else. Russia's pretty straightforward. Build a bunch of attackers and try and defend their main way of attacking. If it's America, where they can get paradrops, start building flak troopers and what are they called? Flak cannons, and they'll be able to get rid of them. Flak tracks are another great way, but flak tracks aren't really the greatest because they move while attacking, so they're not really one of the most best ones to go for.
Moving. I have the information. Checking design. I have the information. Yes, I have the information.
Now that we got some paratroopers, let's go and get a sentry gun over here so that we can at least defend it a little bit against infantry units, because apparently my friend here, Libya, is trying to be very aggressive. Or, yeah, Libya's not really aggressive. Libya's like kind of counter-aggressive. But some Soviets nationalities are usually really aggressive. Libya is one of the ones that are counter-aggressive because they don't really like to attack too much. But I am going to be doing two today, which are going to be the two aggressive ones, or the major aggressive ones that, in my opinion, are the aggressive ones. There's two, not a whole lot, but there's definitely some ways that you can make them counter-aggressive, but they got some pros and cons that are usually very good. Now, one of the ones I'm going to tell you is great against one nationality because their unit is very, very good against them. And I'll get to that in the next video, but is there another one over there? If not, then I guess not. But what I usually do on a map like this, which is just 1v1 on this map, is bridge off this side base, which is what I'm actually going to make it as a side base. What I end up doing is I end up building an ore refinery kind of field over here. So what I do is I just do this, I just build ore refineries over here, because there's a lot of mining areas. And then I just build like a secondary base, build up troops over here, so though all I gotta do is just make them attack through here. There's like 5 different areas, so there's like really a selection of where you should go. And you can build around oil derricks, which is a really nice idea, because oil derricks give you more money. All you gotta do is just make sure you got a decent defense. That's all you gotta do. Then as soon as you build a decent defense, you got yourself a really good secondary mining base. A lot of people don't necessarily like mining bases because they're a little bit too hard to at least defend. But in my opinion, defending mining bases usually give you a lot more resources, gives you a lot more planning strategies against other players, because since you got more money in your pockets, you can get more tough plays out. Now, there are some bad ways to put this as, and good ways to put this as. I like to think of the positive ways that I like to do, and then negative ways usually come across a little bit later on. But more likely the positive ways just come right through, and then you just go, oh, okay, it's not that bad. So one negative way that I can see this is that mining bases usually don't have air defenses, which Korea and any allied base could get away with this. So can somewhat Soviet with their Kirov airships and their siege choppers. But siege choppers do more damage when they're on the ground. But Soviet's usually aggressive, so that's not really a good idea. But a lot of people usually put land defenses in their mining bases. But Russia's good for that kind of stuff because then they get a lot more money. They can build their Tesla tanks faster and quicker than any other thing. And because my ending game plan. To end off every game that I've ever done, except for on multiplayer, where people actually know what they're doing. Normally I'm against people who don't know what they're doing, so I usually just end up ending it with just this. I build 30 apocalypse tanks, which are usually the end game for most players. As soon as you see me building 30 apocalypse tanks, it's over, because as soon as I do that, I know that I can frontal assault you and you die. For pro players, I build 60. What's the difference between a pro player and a normal player? Well, a pro player knows how to defend against them. well, a newbie player is trying to put like basic defenses, so you can kind of get over it.
Unit ready.
But a pro player, he knows what he's against, so it gets kind of. You go, okay, what can I build?
Unit
He's Russia, so he's gonna probably put some Tesla tanks outside of some bases. So what I should do is I should start trying to
unit
build some decent attackers. But Russia is definitely one of the most aggressive ones in my opinion that is actually out there.
Waiting orders.
No, I don't want to build that. I want to build an engineer.
Unit ready. New rally point established.
I have the information.
Unit
To repair the
Checking
bridge.
design.
Maybe that flak truck will attack. Yeah, that flak truck's gonna attack. Okay.
unit ready.
As I said, Tesla tanks are usually pretty good. If you have if your friend is an allied and has an IV with an engineer inside it, it's usually a very good idea to have those because if you have an IV with a with an engineer inside, it actually repairs tanks while on the job. So it's usually very good to have one of those in there. It could be any allied unit, and well, it can be any allied player, and they'll have it. I don't care.
Comrade? Da.
Okay, I just want you guys to move up.
Waiting orders. Defensor at full charge.
Okay, I wanted you to go there. I don't know where the heck you got that an idea to go over there.
Maximum power. Positively.
Unit
You're not gonna get through. You're not gonna get through. Yep, told you. Okay, so another great thing about Soviets is they have the spy plane, which you can use as a recon kind of deal. Not really, it's not really great, but it's there. Terror drones are usually their main scouts because they're really fast, they're really cheap, and because since they're very quick, and they can attack. They're miners with really just no end to mercy. They're usually very good for that kind of stuff.
I have the information. Yes,
I'll move the
Commander.
engineer over there. If you're against an allied player, what Russia usually likes to do, or any Soviet thing for that matter, usually likes to do is they usually like to attack the allied player and then use an engineer as such to get a spy satellite, so that they'll be able to see how good the enemy base is. Now, usually when an ally builds a spy satellite, everybody can see it. I think that's how it went. I don't know. If not, then the allied person would like pay for one, and he says, "Russia, use it." And Russia goes, "Oh, okay." They use it to their advantage, and then they start just pulverizing any enemy.
unit
Now, I know there's a lot of counters to Russia's attacking methods, but there are many ways not to counter it.
unit ready.
One way is to use France's Grand Cannon. That's the worst way ever to do it.
Pride of the working class.
In my opinion, that's like the worst way in my opinion to do it. But one of the best ways to
Reading meter.
counter Russia's
Positively.
most powerful,
Miner here. Looks like good place to
not
buy.
powerful tanks, but their most powerful strategy is to attack with front force. It's usually kind of hard.
Unit
But the end game for Soviets is just build a bunch of apocalypse tanks and just end up just destroying your
Waiting
enemy.
orders. For the Union.
I'm just gonna send him little strike raids, I guess. On this side,
select target.
I can disrupt his power.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders.
If he didn't build a Boris, that'd be awesome. Yeah, he didn't build a Boris. Okay,
For
because he would
Mother
have
Russia.
or
Unit ready.
get a Boris on the field. On the battlefield. Let's see if we can destroy the sentry gun. Not without some casualties, but
Waiting orders.
Unit promoted.
better than nothing.
Russia.
Unit ready.
Comrade.
Unit promoted.
Da. You are sure?
the more conscripts you get, the better. And if you incorporate something like the Zerg Rush, in this game, the best one is called the conscript raid. Since conscripts are the lowest costing units in the game, combined with Yuri's clone maker, I believe, it becomes stands to reason though that we might want to call it conscript raid, which basically means that you got a lot of conscripts.
Select target.
I think it's called cloning vats. I think that was what Yuri's one was called. Yuri's thing was called. It's called cloning
Unit
vats.
promoted.
So two more. Oh no, what got?
Promoted.
Oh, you guys got an achievement. Okay. Or Rank up, okay.
Ready for transport. I'll carry out the
Unit
operation.
ready.
Annihilating.
I don't know why you're over there.
Deadly shadow.
Oh, it might came from a crate. Okay. So we don't have one working over here, but that's fine. We got
Unit
more.
ready.
So I'll just get 2 more war miners over here.
New rally point established.
I'll let them work over here,
Building.
and then I'll get the orbit
Building.
miner, and I'll try and build it around here.
Unit ready.
Did you see that? I didn't have any other air defenses except for the flak track, but the flak track was all the way over there, so it didn't move.
Unit ready.
You could clearly see that, but these guys can hit air units. They're kind of overpowered.
Construction complete.
They're the most overpowered tank or vehicle units in the game. And stand to reason, they're the best units in this game too. Now, in my opinion, the reason why is because they can deal heavy damage against vehicles and infantry and structures. And when they get upgraded, well, these guys, if they get full upgraded, you get to see their attack animation is the same as the Apocalypse tank. But when an Apocalypse tank attacks, they get 2 of the same animation.
Primary building
So that stands to reason, though, that they might be
New rally point established.
they're better than any other tank. Also, Apocalypse tanks have auto regen health. It's kind of slow, but it's very useful. And that when they're rank 3, it's faster. So stands to reason, though, that they're probably the ultimate tank that any Soviet player should actually use. If you don't use an Apocalypse tank,
Ready.
some people are going to question why you haven't used it yet.
Select target.
If you have never used an Apocalypse tank before, people are going to start questioning, like, why haven't you used one yet? They're pretty overpowered. I always use them. I always bring like 30, and then I end up killing my opponent because I built too much. Because I made too many of them.
Maximum
ready.
power.
But it's usually quite fun to build Apocalypse tanks. It's not really a big thing to build them. You don't have to build them if you don't want to. But it helps if you did. Oh, they attacked my Tesla tank.
Fire for destruction.
Faggot.
All miner under
Oh, you think you're a tough guy, eh? Take that then. Bitches. I'm joking.
ready. New rally point
Fire
established.
for destruction.
Wired for destruction. Where are you going? No, no, no. There's you just passed ore.
Repaired.
You freaking idiot.
Unit ready.
I don't want you to die.
Comrade, for Mother Russia.
Whoa, somebody's being an idiot. Decided to attack, try to get too close to the sentry gun, so we're just gonna end up destroying it.
Unit promoted.
You are sure?
Sorry, Olivia, but you're just not getting your troops, or you're just not getting your base pretty overpowered for conscripts. Unit lost.
Unit lost.
Yep, unit lost. I heard it. I heard the lost part. I didn't hear the unit part, but I heard the lost
Unit
part.
ready.
Comrade, attacking.
Unit promoted.
Garrisoning structures is usually, I guess, kind of Russia's kind of way of attacking
Unit
or defending.
Moving
I don't know
out.
if that's actually true, but so far from what I see, they're the only faction that actually considered making a
Secret reporting.
bunker or something you can garrison in.
Moving out. Attacking.
He didn't build a nuclear power plant. I definitely know that because
All miner
he would definitely, like, even if I destroyed a Tesla reactor, it wouldn't have done anything to him.
Conscript
Just power
reporting.
supply.
Attacking.
You guys a lot of rank 3s now.
For the Union.
That flak track's really starting. Not flak track. The flak trooper's really starting to scare me. That battle bunker's scaring me more though. I'm definitely able to finish them off with an Apocalypse tank now. Definitely. Because if I get my Apocalypse tank
upgraded.
cross,
Tools ready.
I'll be
Examining
good.
diagrams.
Bridge repaired.
I'm gonna stall at their the base.
Excellent. Excellent.
I'll stall over there. Yes, these guys can attack while moving too. They're slow, which is a negative. Like it's a con, but it's not a bad con because they're walking. They're like a walking apocalypse. They have to be slow, just to debuff them a little bit. But then after that,
Primary
like if you look at anything but that, then there's nothing wrong with them.
building.
I'm gonna build 30 more, and then I definitely know we're gonna win.
Unit
I'm
ready.
just gonna pretend that guy's a pro player. And then I'll do more videos like how to improve your skills, how to improve like building a
Fire for
base,
destruction.
like you know, like all those kind of stuff. And I know one way that I actually definitely improved a
That
lot.
sparks my curiosity.
So I'll show off how I actually got at least a little bit better at building bases, but I didn't build too like. I'll put some multiplayer kind of stuff like not versus other players though, but versus bots though. But
Sparks my curiosity.
like this is actually technically a skirmish right now. This isn't the main story. I can't do Red Alert 2's main story because apparently it's buggy for me. I don't know why,
Positively.
but it's buggy for me. I can't really do it because cutscenes won't work. What is it? You can't hear anything, so there's a lot of problems with it.
That sparks my
But
curiosity.
hey, I'm gonna try and do my best to at least give you guys at least some of this content. One thing definitely that I have to
Unit ready.
mention right away is that, see, right now, as you can see, his base isn't being rebuilt. The reason why is because he didn't go too far into his ore collecting. Not as far as I did, where he went to the down here, bridged it off so though he wouldn't be able to take over it through the land, but he would have to take it out through the air. So all I had to worry about is getting my air defenses up, which actually I didn't do because I knew that this guy wasn't going to go after his air defenses, or build up his air defenses. But I was going to build my apocalypse tanks here because I'm getting a lot of money through this little spot. And I got oil derricks. I got 2 of them. I think, yeah, I got 2 of them.
Armageddon is here.
And just to stop him from getting free troops, I'm going to destroy it if it's a paradrop. Yeah, it's a paradropper. See, look at that. All of them attacked once, and it was nearly dead. Imagine if 60 went in there.
Soviet power
Oh my god, if 60 went in there, this guy's going to get dead in like 2 minutes. So, Soviets do get their plays whenever you got a really high attacking unit. But, in a way, it's slow, because you got to wait for these to go off. How to fix this is if you build war factories beside a war factory, then beside another war factory. But considering this base is kind of a mining operation, it's not
Ready.
really the greatest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build more war factories, which cost 2,000 each, so it still gets slow, but then
Ready.
you gotta work your way up. And it doesn't help to just lag either, because it actually kind of makes the video obviously a little longer, sound a little longer. But Russia's usually the toughest one you ever want to deal with. Definitely, you don't want to deal with too much of Russia. You want to deal a little bit less to Russia. If you have a Russian teammate, or not as the person, but as the nationality, then you're usually pretty good on an attacking force. Just make sure that the Russian person or the guy with Russia at least has a decent setup. If he does, then you're safe because Russia usually gets the best plays. So usually what you want to do is you want to at least protect Russia with France or what was it? France or Korea or America or whatever, because I have seen this, and it's come to my attention. I actually kind of dislike Russian players or people who play as the Russian nationality. I play it because it's fun and because I know what I'm using. A lot of these players just do this. They build this, they build all this stuff, blah 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 blah. They stop at this, then they build apocalypse tanks, and they don't build anything else. They don't build any defenses. They don't build anything else. They don't even build. They don't even build this, which halves the cost, or build this, which gives you power, or this, which repairs tanks. So make sure you're playing against a player like me. Like I know what I'm playing as, and I know how good they are.
Positively.
No, nobody's prepared. Okay. Because if you're playing against the person who just says, "Hey, I'm just trying out Russia for the first time ever," because I've like if they've seen a video how to play it, then if they make an error, just correct them. That's it. But if they're like the person like I'm talking about somebody else. But this person really just didn't know how good Russia was at aggressiveness, so he just tried his best. Which I can't blame him. He tried his best. But at the beginning of the start, like you can tell he was new because he didn't know how to build stuff, and how to make units pop up. He didn't even know how to set up a rally point, so you can tell that's new. But he said he was an experienced rush player. So I went in as a France person. I went in as France. Not as a France person, I'm not French, but I put in as France just so though I can defend him a little bit, because if he's an experienced Russia player,
Waiting orders.
at least he knows what he's doing, right? Next thing I know, I ended up talking to this guy about how to use Russia. So he goes, "Why didn't you pick Russia?" I'm like, "Because France is good to defend for Russia." So he's like, "I didn't know that." I'm like,
The instrument of
"How do you not know that? You're experienced in the game. If you're experienced in Russia, you're experienced in what can help Russia. So if you don't know that France is actually good for Russia, then you don't know how to play Russia.
taste your mortality.
You just lied to me, and when you lie to me, I usually just quit the game." Look at that. I'm sending Apocalypse tanks in, and I'm gonna win. Yes, you will hear unit lost, but you won't hear it too bad. You won't hear unit lost, unit lost, unit lost. No, you'll hear it at some points, but not too much. Not too bad though. 60 Apocalypse tanks hitting his base. He can't defend against it. Nobody can. Unless you build so many battle bunkers, then you can guard against it. But usually causes a lot of lag and all that. Grand Cannons can't even stop an Apocalypse tank. I've seen it. They tried. But nobody can guard against an Apocalypse tank.
Conscript reporting.
Not even in Russia can.
Waiting orders.
Russia can't even guard against Apocalypse tanks. Even with a thing that is great against vehicles and units, still can't defeat an Apocalypse tank. Reason why is because the Tesla coil, unless it gets supercharged with Tesla troopers, isn't really strong against Apocalypse tanks. These Apocalypse tanks have a lot of armor. And we win. Sure, we lost 13. But look at that score. That score is pretty good. Not really, but it's decent. Got a lot of kills. Built a lot of stuff. I don't know if having higher built is bad or good or whatever. That took me half an hour because I built 30 more, which is usually what I know. And I went up, and I started a little slow because I was trying to see if I was trying to be a little bit careful, which is not usually what I usually like to do. And plus I build Tesla tanks, which usually what I never do is build Tesla tanks. I usually just build Apocalypse tanks, attack with 30, and I win. There's nothing else. But I built 30 extra, and I built more Tesla tanks and all that. So that would have been like 14 minutes. I don't know. But yeah, so Russia's a pretty good heavy hitter. I'll see you guys for Iraq. And I forgot to do what I was going to do this video. So you're going to see it in Iraq. So I'll be right back for Iraq. So goodbye, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. Goodbye, guys.